Hello everybody, welcome back to Sakura Angels part 17. So last time we actually started learning about what the fuck is going on and why our blood is important. So let's find out more. Yikes. I can't believe there's a possibility of exploding picking up her sword. What I did back then was even more reckless than I realized. If you can handle that sword, I think a little sealing magic should be no problem. Totally no problem. But then it also means you have to go to where she's sealed, taking along the one thing she's been seeking for all these years. It'll be reckless, and one mistake will mean we put the world in danger. No pressure then? Haha, I try my best to keep things lighthearted and force out an awkward laugh, but it's difficult after hearing all this. To think that somehow I'm both the key to unlocking this woman from prison, and the only thing that can put her away for good. Tomorrow's our last chance to stop this before it spirals out of control. I think you're going to have to skip a day of school, Kenta. I wonder if out saving the world is a valid enough excuse to miss a day of school. I love she's so happy. That is if you choose to help us. I'll understand if you don't feel up to it. Maybe we can find another way. But there isn't another way, is there? That's the whole reason you're telling me all this. I heave out a sigh and give my guardians a look over. They've done so much for me this past week, and even more than I realized behind the scenes. If anything, I owe them this. I swallow hard. I can feel my hands begin to tremble. I might die if I go with them. But then, if we leave it, things will only get worse. So, I guess I have no choice, do I? I'll help with this stealing business, if you think I can manage it. You will? Sakura looks ecstatic as she claps her hands together. Was she expecting me not to help? Hikari looks equally surprised. Geez, a little faith goes a long way, guys. It's the least I can do, after you guys after all. You guys have been risking your lives for me every day. If I finally have a way to help, then I'm not going to waste that chance. Kenta. You know, you almost sounded cool there. Almost. I think we need to work on your heroic dialogue. But that'll have to come later. We have lots to cover if you're going to steal away this Dark Queen, so pay attention. And just when I thought the night couldn't get any longer, yet another lecture begins. I'm sure it wasn't easy for the pair to teach someone like me the basics of magic. Someone who only just barely was aware of its existence at all. Not really sure if I got the steps down, but after hours of practicing, they've assured me I've got it down. I won't be able to tell for sure until the real thing. That's what scares me. What if they misjudged what I'm really capable of? Or I mess up? Or there's a whole range of possibilities of things messing up on the day. These are the thoughts that stay with me, long after the girls return to their tent to catch whatever rest they can get before the morning. The last thoughts I have before I finally drift off to sleep is that the toughest day of my life is now lying ahead of me. I slowly come to my senses. Morning has arrived. There's no time to waste. I slip out the covers and still myself for what's to come, feeling more awake than I have in the previous mornings. Which is surprising, seeing as I probably got, at best, a few hours of sleep. I guess the fear of what's to come if I mess up is what's keeping me going. A better motivation than any other. Okay, let's do this. I peered a pair of determined eyes that stared back at me from the mirror. This is the most focused I've ever been in my life. It's funny how much has changed in these past few days. And it's even more weird how I seem to accept it. As if deep down I knew all this would to begin with. I zip on my casual clothes and make for the dining room. I find the two girls waiting for me, as expected. Though I'm caught a little off guard by the fact they're in their battle outfits. Good morning. Did you sleep well? About as well as I could, knowing what's to come. Make sure to eat well before we leave. You're gonna need the strength. Right. Of course. I start for the kitchen. I start for the kitchen and prepare the most simple food I can think of. So I forgot to ask this last night when I got carried away with other stuff, but where's exactly this Dark Queen imprisoned? Huh? Didn't we say? She's still just outside the town. What? I almost dropped the plate I'm holding. She's that close by? Of course, why do you think her influence is spreading around here so easily? I didn't really think about any of that. That's a good point. But to think she's been this close for the whole time. No wonder things have been getting progressively more crazy around here. She must be furious to have the key to her freedom just out of grasp like this. To be fair, while we knew she was at least in the area, we didn't pinpoint her exact location till last night. Apparently she's in the forest on the outskirts of town, holed up in some cave outside. There's a lot of history around this place, I suppose. Maybe the forest used to be part of something greater. World base of operations, perhaps? None of that matters. We just get in there, strengthen the seal, and then our lives should be much easier. Are things really just gonna magically fix themselves when we do this? Well, it'll shut off whatever power she has on the land. Meaning the monsters will go back to being mindless husks, and things should be more quiet around here. And then we can finally go home after all this is sorted. I swear I'm gonna snap if I have to spend one more day at that school. Oh, don't act like you're desperate to leave. I know for a fact you've had fun spending time with Kenta. Don't be ridiculous, I'm just doing my job. Oh, you can't fool me, not when your face is such an adorable shade of red. She's so cute. Are we gonna leave now or what? Saka giggles and jabs at her partner's ribs. I suppose it's good they can stay in such high spirits despite the task that lays before us. We set out. I let the girls lead the way as we take the lesser traveled routes through town so as to not draw attention to their outfits. They offered to fly me there as it would be much faster, but no. Walking is fine. I'm sure things aren't that urgent. For long, our surroundings become less urban, the buildings shrinking in number, the longer we travel until finally we cross over a fence and into the wilderness. Branches overhead shade us from the sun as we walk across the faint trail laid out across the ground. Only the faintest hints of light that filter filter through, illuminate the way. I'm gonna end it here, guys, because it's probably been pretty long. So, I hope you enjoy this episode. Like, subscribe, share if you want. And I'll see you next time, my lovelies.